Hey there everybody, Kevin here again from the My Song of the Day Rock 2000 to Today Alexa Skill YouTube channel, and today we are going to be doing a band review on the band Saint Asonia. Now a quick rundown of how I do my band reviews because I do them in 5 parts. Part 1, I go through the origin story of how I found out about the band, how I started listening to the band, and if I'm still listening to that band today and to what capacity. Part 2, I go through what I like most about the band, what keeps me interested. Part 3, I go through what I dislike about the band the most and what really grinds my gears about them. Part 4, I go into my favorite song by the band and why that's my favorite song. And Part 5, I give my overall rating of the band on a scale of 0 to 10, 0 being the absolute worst, 10 being the greatest band of all time. Alrighty, enough of the formalities, let's get into the band review. Here's our band review on Saint Asonia. So I actually first found out about Saint Asonia in early 2018. I remember this was in January, I was visiting some friends up in Minnesota, and I found out that 3 Days Grace came out with a new single called The Mountain. Full disclosure, I really like that song, but I knew that wasn't Adam Gontier. I also knew it wasn't Adam Gontier from their previous album, Human. So I thought, I really wonder what happened to Adam Gontier. I wonder what he's doing. When I started looking around to figure out what Adam Gontier was actually up to, I found his band called Saint Asonia, which he was a part of. It was a kind of a super group with Corey Lowry, the bassist from Seether. Now, I started listening a little bit basically because I listened to 3 Days Grace's new album, The Outsider, and I liked The Mountain. I really liked that song, but outside of that, I really disliked the album. So I had to say, okay, this is what they are without Adam Gontier. Let's see what Adam Gontier actually is up to with this new band, Saint Asonia. First song I heard from Saint Asonia was Let Me Live My Life, and instantly I thought, this is 3 Days Grace 2.0. It sounded like something that come off of 1X or Life Starts Now, and let me tell you, it was also a little bit grittier than those that were on there, but in essence, I was hooked. This is because when I listened to 3 Days Grace for the first time, the thing that really drew me in was Adam Gontier's voice because it was so unique and so different from anything else that I heard. Now that 3 Days Grace does not sound like that, and Saint Asonia has that sound, I was in love because I thought, this is the rebirth of 3 Days Grace. This is awesome. I have listened to their debut album a good amount, along with their cover of I Don't Care Anymore by Phil Collins, because that is actually a pretty good cover. However, outside that, I'm getting really giddy and anxious and a little impatient right now for them to release a second album. I'm like, come on guys, you released the first album in 2015. Let's pick up the pace a little bit. I know you announced it. Let's pick up the pace a little bit because the anxiety's starting to build up a little bit. Now, what I like most about Saint Asonia is their sound and how it follows Adam Gontier's vision of what the rock band should sound like. It sounded a lot like, again, 3 Days Grace 2.0, 3 Days Grace in the early 2000s with their debut album with 1X and Life Starts Now. So I thought, this is great. This is actually what I wanted. I could not believe it. And you could easily understand why 3 Days Grace gained so much popularity because they had this unique sound similar to what Linkin Park had, driven off of the lead singer's voice. Again, Linkin Park, Chester Bennington's voice, very unique. 3 Days Grace, Adam Gontier, very unique, and it's brought back here again with Saint Asonia. I am a big fan of Adam Gontier's sound and his vision for what a rock band should sound like, so that's why I really like 3 Days Grace so much. When he left, and with Human and The Outsider, again, there are some songs I like from 3 Days Grace with their new lead singer, Matt Walsh. However, it just doesn't resonate well, and I'm so glad that Adam Gontier is back and making music because that sound is back. Now, when I listen to Saint Asonia songs like Let Me Live My Life, Dying Slowly, and Fairy Tale, you hear that hard sound that really brought in a lot of 3 Days Grace fans to the band. It made me feel like I was, again, listening to stuff off their debut album or 1X, and which I truly loved about it. I mean, that sound was missed in rock music, and oh, thank God it was back. Now when you go and listen to Saint Asonia's slower songs off of their album, such as Trying to Catch Up with the World and Leaving Minnesota, it brings back some memories of Gone Forever and World So Cold from 3 Days Grace days. And again, like I keep saying, I miss that sound. I'm glad it's here. In summary, what I like most about Saint Asonia is the fact that Adam Gontier's voice and his sound and vision for a rock band is back. Yes, I know I went into a lot of comparisons with the 3 Days Grace thing, but I feel like I had to because when 3 Days Grace was with Adam Gontier, they were massive because of Adam Gontier's sound and his voice. They're just not the same anymore. And that voice and that sound were gone from rock music. It was really missed. Saint Asonia comes in, you have that same sound back again, just a little bit grittier in my opinion, and I absolutely loved it. That I think is the best quality about Saint Asonia, and I hope they just keep sticking with it. Now, what I dislike most about Saint Asonia is the fact that they have little content out there. They have their one debut album, and I think that's 12 songs, and their cover of I Don't Care Anymore by Phil Collins. That means 13 released songs from Saint Asonia. That's not a lot for a band that came out their debut album in 2015. We've been waiting 3 years for that album, and I'm just getting anxious and giddy for another album to come out. I want to hear more, but they're just taking so much time. Now, I think the biggest reason for that is because this band is kind of considered a supergroup. What I mean by that is they bring in different musicians from different bands and they have them play with them. You know, big groups. You got Adam Gontier, formerly of 3 Days Grace, but he is all Saint Asonia now. He's got his cousin in there. You had a couple of former Stain members. You had a guy from Finger 11 and from Seether. So I think I mentioned Seether earlier. So when you get all those guys in together, you know, you got conflicting schedules, you got guys working on different projects, so I get the fact that sometimes content is hard to come by. In the past, we have seen some supergroups come out and they have made some killer music. Lately, the ones I can think of off the top of my head are the Hollywood Vampires and them Crooked Vultures. You got a lot of big artists and a lot of big musicians in those bands. However, their content is limited. Hollywood Vampires, 1 album. Them Crooked Vultures, 1 album. So when you look at that, there's little content there. And I'm really kind of mad about that with Saint Asonia because this is Adam Gontier's full-time project. I mean, come on. You can at least give us some more content, especially because you told us in February 2017 that a second album was in the works. This is now November 2018. It's almost 2 years. Come on. I want more Saint Asonia! Now, yes, I understand, like I said earlier, we have a supergroup in the works, so we have different band members, different musicians coming from all different places. However, I think this is one thing that really drags this band down in my viewpoint, just because, again, little content, and I'm still waiting. And it looks like we're going to have to wait a little longer for a new Saint Asonia album, and it's kind of getting on my nerves a little bit. Like, are they going to be able to come out with a new album if they keep talking about it and nothing's really happening? I don't know. I hope they do. I've been seeing Adam Gontier post a lot more on Instagram lately, so hopefully that's a good sign of things to come. However, that's all speculation. Now, time for my favorite song by Saint Asonia. It is kind of easy and tough at the same time because there is a limited amount of content. There's only like 13 songs to pick from, so it should be easy. But I like a good amount of them, so it was kind of tough. Now, there are some songs I mentioned earlier that I really liked, like Let Me Live My Life and Dying Slowly. However, I think the one song from Saint Asonia that stands above the rest and is my favorite is Fairy Tale. If Adam Gontier was still a member of 3 Days Grace and they came out with the new album in 2015, Fairy Tale would have been the lead single off of that album, and it would have been the best song off of the album. Honestly, it hits that hard. In the song, Gontier has 2 types of singing. He has a normal singing voice, then his normal screaming kind of singing voice. With his normal singing voice, it's a little bit grittier, and you can kind of hear similarities to The Good Life from 3 Days Grace days. And I really like that. Now, when he starts getting into it more in the chorus, when he starts actually doing his actual singing and screaming a little bit more, it brings a lot of flashbacks to Just Like You. And oh man, that warmed my heart a hell of a lot. In the end, this song is the type of sound that Gontier engineered with his 3 Days Grace days and is bringing it into the forefront with Saint Asonia. I am so glad this happened because that sound, like I said earlier, was massively lacking in the music scene, and I'm so glad it's back. I'm so happy. Yes! Now, like I said earlier, Dying Slowly and Let Me Live My Life are songs that kind of follow that hard Adam Gontier vision and Adam Gontier sound, so I like those. The rest of the album kind of experiments with that sound a little bit. However, I think they hit it the hardest and hit it the best with Fairy Tale, so that's why it's my favorite song by the band. Alrighty, let's give a rating to Saint Asonia, and I give Saint Asonia a 7 out of 10. So far, yes, I know, I have raved this whole entire video of how Adam Gontier basically turned Saint Asonia into 3 Days Grace 2.0, and I love the fact that sounds back, so I don't think I need to explain any further. I love 3 Days Grace, especially 3 Days Grace with Adam Gontier, which is why I like this band so much. However, that's also one of the reasons why I don't rate this band higher. Even though it is 3 Days Grace 2.0, in my opinion, I wish Adam would have stayed with 3 Days Grace so he never had to mess with the sound, and they never had to mess with, a new band. So I wish he would have done that. Wish he could have explored that a lot more. However, we heard his reasons. He wished that he could have. However, he felt like it was as far as he could go with 3 Days Grace and wanted to try something new. Totally understandable. But then again, that gets into my second reason why I'm not rating the band even higher than I should. Saint Asonia is a supergroup, and that's why I kind of also knocked them further down the line as well. Like I said earlier, with bands that are supergroups, take a look at them Crooked Vultures and Hollywood Vampires, we only get a limited amount of content from them. Saint Asonia, we've got 13 songs, and we heard of a new album coming out in February 2017, and we're still waiting for it. So it's really tough to give this band a higher rating like I want to, just because of the fact that we don't have that much to go off of. Come on, guys. I want that second album. Alright, that's it. Thank you for watching the My Song of the Day Rock 2000 to Today Alexa Skill band review on Saint Asonia. If you think our assessment was right, wrong, if you have any comments, concerns, or suggestions on what band should we review next, leave them in the comments below and I'll take a look. If you want to subscribe and keep up to date with us, hit the subscribe button below and also hit that bell to get notified every single Wednesday when we come out with a new video. If you want to follow us on our social media pages, I'm talking Facebook, I'm talking Twitter, I'm talking Instagram. I've got links in the description below for our pages. Just click on them and give us a like or a follow. Most importantly, if you have an Amazon Alexa and you want a new rock song every single day, enable our Alexa skill. You can do this in a couple of ways. You can go on your phone, click on the link in the description below and enable it on your device. Or tell Alexa, say, hey Alexa, enable My Song of the Day Rock 2000 to Today. And then say, hey Alexa, play My Song of the Day. And Alexa will do just that. Trust me, you'll like it. Let me know how it is. Alright, that's it for me. This is Kevin from the My Song of the Day Rock 2000 to Today Alexa Skill YouTube channel, signing off by saying, see ya!